now that it's more hospitable out here, we can do a little bit of gardening. Hi, Bella. So now, something we're gonna do is repair the end of this hose. We can't screw anything on there, there's no threaded end. So we went to the local hardware store, got a male mender, as they call it, to put this rigid edge into the tube. And we'll take our screwdriver. This can use a flat or a Phillips head, and we'll tighten this down as much as we can. It's on pretty tight now. I certainly can't pull it out with my hand, but that doesn't mean that water pressure can't undo it. So with a working hose end, I can confidently put sprinklers and whatever else I need to on the end of it to water some purslane that I brought before we came up here on our move. 3 different colors of purslane. We're gonna plant these around our yucca, and I don't have a master plan. I'm just gonna start digging. And being a purslane, this is often mistaken as a weed, and it's up to you. If you don't want it in your yard, then it is a weed. But the leaves are edible, and I fully expect many of the native birds, like the quail, to eat these leaves. They are succulent, they are nutritious. So if I come out one of these days and these are all stripped just to the stem, that's okay. That means some bird got what it wanted. All right, now that we got some of those weeds out of the way, this kind of right there, why not? Let's see if we can speed this process up a little bit. This is working, and I don't mind it, but I do have better tools. Might as well. All right, so we'll take him out of the pot. Fingers holding him in, just fine. Don't need to tease it. All right, we'll match the third one over here. That is hard soil. That fits just fine. So now purslane, being a succulent plant, is not going to require frequent watering. Combine that with the fact that this is in clay soil that holds moisture for quite a while. These plants will be perfectly happy with once a week watering. There's this guy's tag. All right, these are in the ground. We'll water them soon after we test the water from the hose. First, I want to address this whole black oil sunflower seed thing. So obviously, it is bird seed. Comes in a package that says it's bird seed. Birds are gonna eat it. Totally fine with that. It is 4 things to eat. Getting a sprout out of it would be a bonus. So what we're gonna test here is, do these even sprout? Because what if we were wasting all of our time, huh? What if we're just putting seeds out there that it's primarily and only animal feed? This ain't potting soil, this is dirt. This is the dirt. All right, there we go. We got 3 containers full of crappy dirt. The whole point is we're gonna see how these seeds do in crappy dirt. So here's a little divot. Here's a handful of those black oils. It's a lot, but that's fine. So in they go, mix them up, cover them up, go to bed now. There we go. Nice. Get in there. You gotta mix it up like a soup. All right. There we go. Beautiful. Done. So yeah, even this flow is a bit high. It's a good temperature though, so I don't feel bad about using the water. It won't hurt the plants. Come here, you thirsty? You need a drink? So I got the hose trickling into a bucket so I don't waste it all over the ground like I was. We'll take this over to the spigot, because this is going through about 200 feet of hose to get over here. And we'll adjust the pressure at the spigot with this bucket so we can kind of get the amount of trickle that we want. Because we don't want it too fast and it's a waste going laterally. It has to water for a long time in order to get the depth. Dog stepped on the hose. So our hose is running. Since I picked it up, it's got to fill up that vertical area. It's a bit fast. One hose is going to our camper, so we have our sink and everything work, of course. And then I attach the splitter then we have this 75 foot of hose connects to another 100 feet of hose. And then of course this comes from over there, so that's another section, call it at least 200 feet. We can hear it hissing. I'm gonna tighten it down just a little. Still a bit too fast. Tighten this some more. So we can still hear it flowing. All right, now we're waiting for it to come up. I lifted the hose, so the slow trickle has to fill up that vertical air. It'll come out in a second. We'll see. There we go. Well, that's a decent trickle. Take it back to our plants. While these guys are soaking in the ground, I'll bring these seeds in pots towards the camper so I can monitor them a little better and make sure that they have good conditions to sprout. So I brought those sunflower seeds that are in their pots right over here. They're gonna sit on this table. This one's been watered. Got a little watering can, and I'll be using this bucket of water that I kind of drip the hose into. We'll just fill these up. Yesterday, we soaked this spot right here in front of me for about 4 or 5 hours. Let it run here for about 30 minutes just for a comparison. And then of course we have our familiar nothing. But we're gonna dig 3 different holes, which I'll plant 3 different things from the garden, peppers. And we'll see exactly what that kind of soaking gets us. Got our sharpshooter. Let's just slam it in there and see what we get. Ooh, that felt good. That went a good distance. That's moist all the way down the entire hit. So as I dug down there, this piece that I just pulled out has, the shovel went in, scooped it out. We got the moisture at the top where it was soaking in the bottom of this hole that we created. We got down to where the water actually stopped soaking after that time. Got pretty far in there. We got our spot here where we soaked for about 30 minutes. All right, similar to the first one. You can see where the moisture got down to, which is obviously a lot less just looking at it. Moisture really only went down a little bit in this hole. That's maybe 4 inches. Even just a little bit of soaking is better than nothing, but I think at least an hour would probably be better than nothing, because a few inches in the ground, you're still kind of warm, whereas when you're like 7 inches in the ground, that's when your roots can probably start to get a little more cool in the summertime. All right, well, let's finish digging these holes. Make room for some peppers. This is about what that water got us in terms of wet soil. I have now dug it all up. That right there isn't too bad for, 20 or 30 minutes of water dripping out of a hose. The one that was soaked a little, we dug out all of that wet soil pretty quickly, but it made the dig easy. The longer soaked hole, we didn't get all the moist soil out. We got the appropriate sized hole. It was easy the whole way, and now there's still some left over for the plant when it goes in, and if I needed to make it bigger. Now this one that has had nothing done to it is much more work. If you can plan ahead and soak the areas that you want to plant in, even just a little bit before you plant, it'll make it so much better for you. So we have these 3 different peppers that we're going to plant in those 3 different spots. We've got a poblano, a purple beauty, and Gypsy, the name of my husband's dear dead cat. So this one is very, very special and we'll be taking the most care of. The other two are just nice. But let's bring them over to that spot. They're each at their respective holes, and they seem to be deep enough. The root ball is level on the sides there. This one is pretty close to level, if not a tiny bit up, which is okay. And this one is the uppest of them all. But again, up is better than down. If it's down, it might rot. If it's up, no big deal. Okay, we have all three of them in their holes. We're gonna take them out of their pots and plant them and then backfill with the native. We're not gonna amend the soil. Normally that's good to do a 50-50 mixture, but we're just gonna go straight into the native. I'm gonna take my hand, and I'm gonna have my thumb open around the stem. I'm gonna turn this over and I'm gonna catch this root ball. We'll flex the bucket a little bit to loosen it up. And while we're in this process, I'll kind of do a little bit of leveling of the plant. I'll tilt it back a little bit and pull dirt into there. And I don't mind the dirt clods. They can just go to the side. They're not exactly great for roots, but they kind of float up to the surface. And I'll just kind of make a little ring around this plant to help keep in some of the moisture that goes astray when we water. All right, these guys are kind of big. Ever play that game where you smash two Skittles or M&Ms or something together? This one's the good one. This one will be saved for last to be eaten. But we'll keep dirt off of this stem. So we'll make a little crater around it. There we go. Not perfect, and it really doesn't have to be. Plants don't care. Probably loosen this up while it's in this position. We'll shimmy the pot off. And you can see the difference too. The hole that's very dry, lots of big, ugly chunks. This hole that was wet and then we came back a day later, nice and broken down. Almost no big chunks, and if there are, they'll break down super easy because of that moisture. It's very helpful to do a good soak and then give it some time before you go plant. Makes it easy on you, it makes the plants happy too. All right, so you see the difference? If there is a big chunk, that M&M's game doesn't really apply. My camera is starting to shut down from the heat, so we'll get the last one in the ground. I'll get a stake for him too to hold it upright a little bit more once we're in there, and then we'll be all done and we'll clean up after ourselves. All right, so yesterday it got a little bit windy and we moved some of these plants over here. We'll dig some holes for them too. Yeah, that went in pretty nice. Yeah, a day after a rain, or a couple days even, still moist enough to dig a hole pretty well. All right, we got the soil broken up with the sharpshooter. We'll just scoop out some with our normal shovel, or spade. And now that we're past where all the rain soaked, this will be a little bit harder digging. All right, broke it up, switch back to the other shovel. So this big pot had a lot of soil displacement with it. We put in a good chunk of dirt, which means that we had to take out a good chunk of dirt. That'll leave us a lot to make a big berm around it. So that's one down. The red knight bell pepper is in the ground. We'll water it in a second. I'm gonna get this one in while I have some energy, and before it hits me, then I'll get the third one in there, and then we'll get these watered. Just double check this fits. Yeah, that fits just right. I angled him in the ground just a little bit to help with that kind of lean he had. All right, we'll get this last one in. So before I started digging, I had them out here for a little while. There's still a moist spot where it was sitting. That's to help me kind of visualize the area, make sure it's how I want before I actually dig. I wanted a crescent circle, it's lopsided, but that's fine. An area so that we can walk in between all of the pepper plants and pick all of the peppers from all of them. Nice little secluded spot and an area to get in. And the last one will go over here on the side. Yes, a good fit. Pretty simple. I'm going to cave in the sides of the hole, and then I'll use the chunky soil on top. So here's all the peppers. I'll water them in very soon. We can see some of these guys starting to get a little floppy. It's time to water them. All 6. We've got, from the top, a purple beauty, a gypsy bell, a poblano pepper, a red knight bell pepper, jalapeno, and finally serrano. So we've got a few bells up front. We've got the hot ones in the back, and there they are. Time to water. So that went quite well. We got all 6 of the peppers planted. Later, I'll plant 2 fuchsia and an acacia in the ground. And then we'll figure out what to do with our black oil sunflower seedlings that have begun to sprout. You can see a lot of them went in the side and they floated off to the edges of the pot. And that's where they collected and started to sprout. So at least we know these sprout. We'll see how these peppers do, and soon we'll get those other plants in the ground. Otherwise, this has been very good. Thanks for watching.